So, I was telling my grandma and my dad that I was going to come and interview you today, and obviously you do go back further in their generation more than mine, but one of the first questions that I wanted to ask you, and really what I think is important to people in my generation and for the future, is what continues to propel you to keep working, to keep doing what you've been doing for so long? Why are you not, in Cabo with your toes in the sand and just laying out and doing that? What?
Ex-wives.
Ex-wives, that's why?
They had better lawyer than you, isn't it?
You did. No, I didn't. I didn't handle that well. I said, I just want out. You can have anything you want. And she thought that meant everything.
And it did.
Women have selective hearing sometimes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Where do you hear from?
What? My hearing's not selective. I hear almost everything, I promise.
Well,
Except if it's no, then I don't hear that.
Good. Oh, good.
But really, for so long, your acting career and everything that you've done is just a really, really long amount of time. I mean, the name that you've made yourself, you are a legend in acting, and a lot of people just, do something for a couple of years and then call it quits. What's made you continue to progress forward and propel all throughout your years, even if things, got difficult? What made you continue to keep acting and acting and acting for so long?
Well, I have been lucky. I've been busy for 50 years, and that's a little older than you. And I've been very happy doing it, and I love doing it. I love acting, and I like directing, and I teach every Friday night. So if you want to come and go to class, you can.
Okay, I can do that.
In Jupiter.
Okay.
I'll put you right on the front row.
Thank you. There's no other place I'd rather be other than the front row. Yes, I can wear this. I can class every day.
Yes.
I can answer partially with that.
Okay.
What drive? I was born with a gorilla on my back,
Okay.
and Burt probably was too. We don't know why, and we push and keep. What else are we going to do? That's what we do. That's how we express ourselves. And we've been lucky enough to move people's lives around with what we do. And it's a responsible thing. But I wake up every morning. I'm sure he does too. What can we do to keep this thing going? And I'm serious. It's very enjoyable, and sometimes it's living hell. But you got to get up and do it. You have no choice. Am I correct?
You're right, yeah. If I could wake up and do Bogey and Bacall and sing it, that's what I'd do.
I've been playing music like all my life. And I was a little kid playing in the Indian Village years ago. And was not too many people, just Miccosukee and Seminole families that came to watch us. And they didn't know what we were doing, but we were playing the early rock and roll, from the Beatles, the Stones, and all that stuff that happened back then. And after a while, you get into it, and it becomes a part of it. And in a certain way, you're gifted. And if you go after it and continue on with it, it becomes part of you, the mold of your soul. And it's part of you forever. And you never stop. I mean, I haven't stopped for years. I mean, I've been
What would
playing
you do?
over 40
What else
years,
would
50
you
years,
do?
nothing. And since it's a gift, it's a gift we have to give back to the people, something we have in ourselves to give to you or the people. And Burt, I know I've seen all his movies, and he's a good man. He has a good heart, and he's giving back what he can, and we all are giving back, and that's why we keep doing it, because we won't stop probably till we're finished.
Well,
to move over.
I always
To
say
move
when
to the
I
other
die, I'll
side.
slide 50 feet because I'll still be running.
Yeah, he'll slide 50 feet.
A lot of people aren't aware of this, and I may be incorrect, but I don't think so. Burt was the leading box office attraction for the entire 70s decade. Leading. Oh, man.
Well, you weren't live then.
I wasn't even a thought, in all honesty.
That's right.
Burt Reynolds was the biggest box office draw in the world. One more question.
Yes. So I do have one more question for you. Like you guys were going back and saying how this has really grown on you. I'm sure, it's very much a cliche that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. But all of you, Bert, Bertie, all of you have said what a responsibility that it is that you're taking on when you're essentially your icons, your role models. How would you say that that's evolved over the years in comparison to when you first started with your career and now you're looking back now at how much impact and influence you've made? How do you feel about all of that?
The worst song I ever wrote was a thing called Tokyo Joe. I swear, I was on a Bogart binge. And I can't stand to listen to it, but I get emails saying, Tokyo Joe has changed our lives. I'm going, Jesus, what do you people listen to?
Are your ears broken?
No.
Yes.
But it's really a joy and a charm to be able to entertain people. And he's the best at it. He's the best.
You'd say you're the best.
And what?
One of the best? Say you're one of the best or the best? What do you think?
No, I'm just lucky.
Yeah.
Blessed,
lucky. I like that so modest.
Fulfilling his part of this life.
I was going to go interview the most iconic movie star that there is around. The most iconic, because you influence so many people's lives. I mean, do you know how many boys grew up on you? I mean, we're the reason we're stuntmans. You're
Yeah.
the reason why we got fast cars. You're the reason why the Trans Am is the baddest car around, man. You're the reason.
My dad did
You
buy a
are the
Trans Am
reason.
because of that. Yeah.
And that is, iconic. You are the most iconic movie star of this era.
You're going to make a whole bunch of parents hate me.
Well, thank you for
Hey,
talking
just
to
because
me.
you got
Bert.
away with their daughter, I mean,
Well, thank you for talking to me.
Oh,
Bert.
it's a
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Wonderful.
Bert.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to make it.
Rick Derringer is
Yep, you're almost done. You're almost done. I'm just moving from this spot.